Hello there. I'm going to be showing you how to do blanket stitch for your pocket. So I cut a piece of fabric that will be simulating the pocket, and I have my needle threaded and a knot on the back. To start with the stitch, we're going to go in between both layers just to make sure the knot is hidden. So we're going to go through the first top layer. Make sure I'm going to the right thing. Go through the first layer and pull all the way. Make sure the knot's looking the other way. Once you have that, you're going to go through the layer on the back. I don't know if you can see. So you're just going to go through that one and pull all the way. Before you go all the way in, just leave a little loop at the end because we're going to be coming out through both layers this time. I'm going to try to come as close as the last stitch as possible. So once I got the right spot, I'm going to be pulling the thread, and then I'm going to be going through the loop around it. So I'm going to come from this side and I'm going to go all the way. Once I've done that, I'll pull, and this will be our first stitch. Once you have the first stitch, we're going to keep going. So always trying to keep the same length in between stitches. We're going to pull the needle through, put the needle through both layers, and come out on the back layer, just like this. What I like to do is before you pull the needle all the way through, I like to bring my thread around the needle. That way I know I'll be going through the loop. Once I do that, I'll pull all the way, and I have the blanket stitch. So I'm going to do a couple more for you guys to see. So again, I'm going to move the thread to the side. I like to hold it with my thumb. If that's easier for you, you can do that as well. Trying to keep the same distance, I'm going to go through both layers and then come out just on the bottom layer, just like this. Before I pull the needle all the way through, I'm going to bring my thread around and pull all the way. And you're just going to keep doing that all through your pocket. Just go both layers, come out one through the back layer, put the thread around the needle, and pull. What happens if you don't put the thread around the needle? I'll show you. It's not a big deal, but it just adds an extra step to it. So I'll go through both layers, then come out on the back layer. And I'm going to pull all the way without bringing the needle through the loop. So I'm just going to go all the way. And this is what happens. If you forgot to go through the loop and you get this stitch, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. So you're just going to bring your needle under this, bring your thread all the way, and then pull back. And there you go, easy fix. It just adds a little more time to it. So you're gonna keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna bring my thread around, pull. I'm gonna do the same thing. For the corner, it becomes a little bit complicated sometimes, like if you want it to look nicer. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do kind of in the middle, stitch, bring the thread around, go over, and I have this stitch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on like through the both layers of fabric using the same stitch as before, the same hole, but I'm gonna come out on this side. I'm gonna bring the thread around just like we've been doing, and I'll be pulling, oops, and I'll be pulling the thread. Let me see if I did no, didn't go through the loop. That's not a big problem. We'll just do it now. And there you go. It looks a little bit cleaner that way. And you're just gonna keep going. Both layers, through the back, bring this on the side, and go through both layers. If you're running out of thread and you need to make a knot, let's go over that real quick. What I like to do is I like to anchor the stitch. So I'm gonna go through both layers, through the back layer, just to anchor this stitch. And then I'm gonna bring the needle back only through one of the layers. Once I have it back, I'll go under my last stitch, make a little loop. Once you have this little loop, you go in through it like this. You can do 1 or 2 knots, and then you pull all the way, and there you go, you have a knot. And then to hide that from everything, you just put the needle through both layers and you just take it out. Oop, I think I'm going through the knots, but that's okay. In this case that we're using t-shirt fabric, you're gonna notice that it moves a lot because it's really thin. It doesn't have a lot of volume to it, so it moves a lot. It's just like keep moving the fabric as your stitches go so they look neater. You can do it with the back of the needle, and that way you have your blanket stitch. You can keep going all the way around. This is how you make the knot, and to start the new stitch you will do the same thing we did for the first stitch. You will through the layer, through one layer, under, go on through the loop, and then come back on this side. And this is your blanket stitch.